What's up, interwebs? Welcome to the Storytime Podcast Season 2. If you're new to the podcast, this is where Adam, say hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Reads an episode, reads a chapter of one of my books. This season, we're going through Marks of Eilira, Strangers from Another World. And afterwards we talk about it. And just so you know, I'm Tim.
I'm Adam.
You always said your name, Adam. You didn't have to say it again.
But that's who I am.
Okay, Daily.
Whatever.
But before we get to the reading, if you go on to enjoy this episode, we'd love it if you hit that like button and do it as a prayer to the holy algorithm.
The holy algorithm.
And subscribe because I got content on this channel. And if you're interested in some terrible gameplay, go check out Adam's channel, ZOP Gaming.
We're slightly above mid.
No, you're not. You're not even mid. You're just slightly below mid.
Except for that, Lara Croft storyline.
He's a genius. Whoever plays that, you should get like 5 more of him. He's awesome.
No.
He never dies in his games. Ever. Well, with all that out of the way, let's get to the reading and we'll be back to discuss Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. Alkaline Drake. Zach ran out of the middle school moments after Ryan and Violet. As he came, he saw them talking to Mr. Jones, who waved him to come over. Once Zach had reached them, he stopped running, bent over, and started breathing heavily to catch his breath. "What were you 3 doing inside the building?" asked Mr. Jones. "The fire alarm has been going off for several minutes now." "We left when it originally went off, but on the other side," said Violet. "However, then others who followed decided to go around. We decided to go through the building, not to waste time, since we could see there was no smoke coming from the building." "That was a very poor choice," said Mr. Jones, "especially for you two. I would expect this from Zach." "It was a poor choice," said Zach, who had caught his breath and stood up slowly. "Once inside, I was attacked by the man who attacked us in the woods." "What?" said Mr. Jones. "He came back? He must have been brave. He had to know that the police were looking for him." "I think he pulled the alarm," said Ryan, "hoping to separate us from everyone else so he could kidnap us." "How did he know you would come back into the building?" asked Mr. Jones. "He didn't," said Violet. "He had to be on his way to find us when we ran into him." "How did you get away?" asked Mr. Jones. Violet and Ryan looked at Zach, not sure how much to tell without sounding like they had lost their minds. Zach looked at them and realized he was going to have to come up with the answer. "Another man attacked this guy and fought him while we got away," said Zach. "Another guy?" asked Mr. Jones. "What did he look like?" "Never saw his face," said Zach. "It was covered by a hood." "This is getting too weird for me," said Mr. Jones. The police pulled up, as well as the fire trucks, and the firefighters and police walked over to Mr. Jones to see what was going on. He pulled him aside and asked him about the alarm. He told them what Zach and Violet and Ryan told him. The firefighters checked the building and cleared it to go back inside. The police entered the building and started searching for the 2 men. Zach, Ryan, and Violet were kept away from everyone until the police chief could arrive. While the police were searching the building, Mr. Jones had to tell everyone that the dance was ending early due to an attack by 2 men. They would have to call for their rides to come pick them up. Several students came forward and told him they did not have a cell phone. Mr. Jones talked with the officer in charge about getting back inside to let those who did not have a cell phone call. The officer told him he would let them inside only after the middle school had been cleared. The students who did not have cell phones only had to wait a few minutes before the okay to re-enter the middle school came. Zach, Ryan, and Violet were brought back into the office, where they waited for the students to finish making calls. When the last student had finished, they left and were alone with Mr. Jones and Mrs. Johnson. No one was saying anything, and Zach and Ryan and Violet just sat in their chairs, thinking that the 2 attacks on him could not just be about the mark on the back of Zach's neck. 10 minutes after the last student made their call, the police chief walked into the office and shook hands with Mr. Jones. Mr. Payne was with him. They met each other in the parking lot before coming in. "Another attack within 2 days," said Chief Burns. "This man is very brave and has not to be right in the head to try another attack on you 3. Only a few days after the second one failed." "Second one?" asked Mr. Payne. "Yeah. I found a break in the report dated Monday by Zach's mom," said Chief Burns. "Apparently, someone broke into his house Sunday night and caused some minor damage, and then left for some reason. I'm guessing this guy tried to attack Zach while he was sleeping, but caused too much noise, got scared, and ran off. Then decided to get him after school, but that failed. Not at a dance. Why did you not mention the break-ins after he attacked you in the woods? Asked Mr. Payne. I didn't think about it, said Zach. I didn't make any connections to things like that. I only figured some drunk guy or on drugs broke in to find some money to get more beer or drugs, or both. If I could make any connections like that at my age, I would have Chief Burns' job. Very true, said Chief Burns. Now tell me about this hooded man. I told Mr. Jones everything, said Zach. He came out of nowhere and attacked the other guy, and we ran away. I stopped to see what was going on and saw the two fight, then decided to follow my friends out. Okay, said Chief Burns. Have your officers found them or anything? Asked Violet. I was told some officers found a broken window up in the high school, answered Chief Burns. The glass shattered to the outside. It was almost like someone was thrown against it. The two of them headed into the woods. My guess, still fighting. But whoever this hooded man is, you owe him your life. What now? Said Ryan. I'm gonna let you three go home, said Chief Burns. I'm gonna have a police car right outside your houses and 2 more patrolling your neighborhood for the next few nights. I doubt he will try this again, since someone else prevented him this time. And I'm sure he will realize we are going to keep a very, very close eye on the 3 of you for the next several weeks. If he tries, we'll take him down. Mr. Payne, can I have a word with you outside in private? Sure, said Mr. Payne. I'll be right out. Chief Burns walked out into the hall and closed the office door behind him. Mr. Payne turned and looked at Zach, Ryan, and Violet. Why don't the 3 of you make your phone call to your parents and ask them to come pick you up? Said Mr. Payne, then turned and walked over to the door, opened it, and walked out into the hall. Closed it behind him. He started to walk, and Chief Burns went with him until they were out of sight. 15 minutes later, Zach and Ryan were both sitting at the back seat of Ryan's dad's car. Violet's dad decided to come pick her up after what happened, and Zach's mom did not pick her up. He knew she had to be asleep, so he left a message that he was going to stay over at Ryan's. It was all quiet except for the music being played on the radio. It was the oldies station that Ryan's dad liked to listen to. When they arrived at Ryan's house, Zach and Ryan got out, went into the house, and headed upstairs to Ryan's room. When they walked inside, Zach flicked the light switch to turn on the overhead light and walked in with Ryan behind him. Ryan's room was pretty big. He had posters of comic book characters as well as music artists. Directly to the right as you enter was Ryan's bed, with a wooden nightstand next to it and a small light on it, with a digital alarm clock. Across the room was Ryan's desk, cluttered like always, with comic books, CDs, old homework, you name it. It was probably somewhere on the desk. Between the desk and the bed were 2 windows with a poster between them. Next to the desk was a tall bookshelf full of books and more books on the floor in front of it. Not far from the bookshelf was his closet. Next to the door was to the left as you came was his 2 dresses next to the closet. Ryan closed the door as he came in and walked over and plopped down on his bed, and Zach grabbed Ryan's desk chair. Ryan was tired from all the dancing he had done, as well as running from Gaimji and the hooded man. For a few moments, neither said anything, but it was not long before the silence was broken. Who do you think was the hooded man? Asked Zach. I'm not sure, said Ryan. Do you think it could have been that Alkaline guy? Why do you think that? Asked Zach. Like you said, how would you know who this guy was? Asked Ryan. He wouldn't attack you like Gaimji did. Well, you were right, he attacked Gaimji. Oh yeah, said Zach. I guess I did say that. I could be, but I think it was DeMarcus. Why would you say that? I thought he was hurt, said Ryan. He was, said Zach. When he appeared in my dream, he seemed fine. Maybe he came out to fight Gaimji off and realized how much he healed and decided to leave. Without telling you or removing the mark? Asked Ryan. I don't know, said Zach. I just want it all to be over with so I can get back to normal life. What happened to wanting to have an adventure? Asked Ryan. I would love to have an adventure, said Zach. If you were not paying attention, I am not prepared for an adventure, though. You saw me trying to fight with that sword that appeared in my hand. If I were going to go on an adventure, I would like to go on one where I was not going to die in the first battle. That's true, said Ryan. You really did suck with that sword. Ryan and Zach talked for a little longer as they switched topics from what happened at the end of the dance to what happened between Penny and Violet. Zach filled him in on what happened. It was all because Violet was jealous of her and that she still thinks he likes him. Well, of course she still likes you, said Ryan. It's only about a month ago you liked her too, if I recall correctly. You sat in the same spot and told me you were going to ask Violet to be your girlfriend, but when Penny came along, you started to like her. Violet realized it and decided to be friends with her, but she ditched us, and you cannot say she didn't ditch us, because she did. Violet thought you would realize she did not like you, realize who your true friends was, and the one who stayed by your side and ask her out. Zach did not respond to what Ryan said. He knew deep down that Ryan was right, and he had been unfair to blame it completely on Violet. Penny would have easily backed down, but she didn't. Around midnight, the two of them went to bed and quickly fell asleep. In the morning, Zach went home only to get yelled at by his mom for not coming home after what happened. He told her he left where he was and a cop was watching the house before heading upstairs and preventing a fight. After showering and eating some lunch, Zach called Ryan and Violet and they came over. They went over to the elementary school and hung out there for a while, but Zach wanted to be away from people, so he headed up to the cement wall. Ryan and Violet knew they should not be going up there, especially since Game G had attacked them twice in a public place and used the woods to get away. Regardless of what they thought, they went with him. Once they reached the wall, they sit on the picnic table and just hang out. After a while, Ryan brings up the hooded man. Hey, Violet, who do you think the hooded man was? Asked Ryan. Not this again, said Zach. I just want to know what she thinks, since I already know who you think it is, said Ryan. I would say that alkaline guy, who DeMarcus talked about, was coming to look for them, said Violet. 2-1, said Ryan. You're outnumbered. Just because I am outnumbered does not mean that you two are right, said Zach. You have been wrong about things before, and you're not wrong, and you are wrong about this. Care to bet? Asked Violet. What? Said Zach. You want to bet money on this? No, said Violet. Something else. What? Asked Ryan, interested. If Ryan and I are right, you have to do something that we say, said Violet. And I am right, you both will have to do something I say, said Zach. No, said Violet. I would have to do something you said, and Ryan would have to do something as well, but different if you wanted. As well would go for us if we win. You would have to do something I said as well as something Ryan said. Do we have a bet? Do you think we're going to find out who this guy is? Asked Zach. That was not the question, said Ryan. We can worry about it if we find out who the guy is when 10 years have passed and we still haven't found out. You know what? Sure. It's a bet, said Zach. Now, can we drop this? Sure, said Violet. Let's talk about how we didn't dance last night, and now you have to go on a date with me. Wait a minute, said Zach. That was only a part of the deal if we did not dance, and it was because I did not want to. I remember asking you, and you said no, then the alarm went off, so we did not dance because of you. Both Ryan and Violet just started to laugh. Zach's face was red, and he had a confused look. He had no clue what was going on. After a few minutes of them laughing, they calmed down. I told Ryan that if you brought that up, you would get all defensive and come up with an excuse, said Violet. You did not disappoint. The three continued to talk and enjoy the peace from everyone and what was happening after being up in the woods for nearly 3 hours and not really doing anything. They started to get bored and decided to leave and go back to Ryan's house and watch a movie. So they got up off the table, turned to the longer way through the woods to get to Ryan's house. After they crossed a small stream, Zach took off running. Violet and Ryan took off after him, trying to beat him out of the woods. As they ran along the path, their muscles pumped to get as fast as they could. The path slowly started to climb, which allowed Violet and Ryan to catch up. But Zach still made it up to the top before them, only to stop quickly. Ryan and Violet did not see him stop and ran right into him, knocked him down. They fell on top of him. When they looked up, they were shocked by what they saw. The hooded man from the dance was standing no more than 10 feet from them. He was wearing the same thing DeMarcus wore, right down to the boots. The only difference was that his jacket was a dark maroon. The hooded man stood looking at them, and he slowly reached up to his hood and pulled it down, revealing his face. The man was not DeMarcus. He had jet black hair that came down to his shoulders, with dark brown eyes and scruff on his face, not enough to be considered a beard. Zach, Ryan, and Violet slowly got back to their feet, looking at the man. They were still not sure if they should trust him. As far as Zach was concerned, it could be a trick to kidnap him. Not here to hurt you, said the man. I'm only looking for my friend DeMarcus. Which one of you is Zach Parks? Who are you? Asked Zach. My name is Alkaline Drake, said the man. I came looking for DeMarcus, and from what Game G told me last night, he's in the mark on the back of Zach Parks. I saw the three of you there last night when he attacked. One of you two should be him. Ryan and Violet looked at Zach, saying he knew it was their way of saying they told him so. After thinking for a moment, he decided to tell him. I am Zach. I should have known, said Alkaline. You were fighting with Game G. You should be a great warrior if you trained and worked hard. You did a good job for that little skill you had. What happened after we left? Asked Ryan. I chased after Game G and caught up with him at the other end of the school and threw him through a window, said Alkaline. We continued to fight in the woods, where I was able to get some information from him. He eventually got away. You won't have to worry about him anymore. As long as he knows I'm around, he won't bother you, especially once I switch DeMarcus to my mark. You mean it's over? Asked Zach. Yes, said Alkaline. With no mark, Game G will have to come looking for me, but he knows he does not stand a chance against me. Great, said Zach. Now, how do you switch the DeMarcus to your mark? Turn and face your friends, said Alkaline. It will only take a moment and will not hurt you at all. Are you sure? Asked Ryan. People usually say that when it's gonna hurt. Why do you care? Asked Zach. I'm the one who's gonna have to go through it. I promise. I will not hurt you, said Alkaline. Why should I trust you? Asked Zach. I just met you. True, said Alkaline, but I should have earned some of your trust. I did save your life last night. And also, did it hurt when DeMarcus put it on you? No, said Zach. Then why would it hurt to remove it? Asked Alkaline. Zach realized he had a good point and turned and faced Ryan and Violet. Alkaline walked up behind him and placed his right hand over the mark on the back of Zach's neck. A moment later, the upside-down quarter moon with the dot at the center under it appeared on the back of Alkaline's hand, glowing white with a tint of blue. The mark on the back of Zach's neck began to glow as well. A few moments later, the glowing stopped, and Alkaline removed his hand, but found the mark still there. That's strange, said Alkaline. The mark is still there. That should not be. At the moment, a bright flash came from the back of Zach's neck. Everyone but Zach was blinded by the light, and when their eyes finally readjusted and could see, they were all surprised to see DeMarcus standing right next to Alkaline. DeMarcus, said Alkaline. Why did you leave the mark? Alkaline, said DeMarcus. My old friend, glad you finally got here. I did not leave. This is just an image of me, so I can communicate with you all. We cannot waste any more time. You need to protect Zach and his friends while I finish healing. You can finish healing in my mark, said Alkaline. This way, he does not have to deal with Game G anymore. I wish it were the case, said DeMarcus. I have realized something, and one is that he mark will not remove. I was in a rush, and I made a mistake that makes the mark impossible to remove or switch. Wait, said Zach. You mean this is not over? I am sorry, said DeMarcus. I wish it were, but it is just beginning. Until I am healed, all that can be done is have Alkaline protect you in case Game G comes back, or worse. DeMarcus, said Alkaline, what happened that caused you to rush? I'll have to tell you later, said DeMarcus. I only have so much time to every time I communicate. I use the strength that I have recovered, and that prolongs my healing. I see, said Alkaline. I will do what you ask. It is my duty and honor to serve the true king. I will need to return and inform the council of what is going on before I can stay here long term. Good, said DeMarcus. Before you leave, I need to speak with you in private about another matter. Why can't you talk about it with us? Asked Ryan. In time, said DeMarcus. However, you are not ready to hear it. DeMarcus and Alkaline walked about 40 feet from Zach, Ryan, and Violet and began to talk. Zach tried to hear what they were saying, but could not hear them. They were talking too quietly for anyone to hear them from so far away. They only talked for a few moments before they returned. It will take about 2 days for me to report to the council and get back, said Alkaline. Do hurry, said DeMarcus. If Game G returns or brings help, or even if he comes, it will be very dangerous for them. I know, said Alkaline. How will you find me when you return? Asked Zach. That's easy, said Alkaline as he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small golden coin. One side was completely smooth, and the other side had a strange symbol. It will allow me to appear nearby, no matter where you are. With that said, Alkaline turned and faced the opposite direction. On his arm, columns of characters appeared, going all the way up to his shoulder. There were 6 in a column, separated by a band before another set of column of characters. The same ones but different characters were in different columns. Alkaline reached in and pulled out another coin, just like the one he gave to Zack, and placed it on the ground. And the symbol on the coin started to glow, as did the matching character on his arm. Almost immediately after the mark on his arm started to glow, streaks of lightning started to shoot out of the coin as a bright, thick streak shot straight up, stopping when it reached the height of Alkaline. Zack, Ryan, and Violet could hear a humming sound coming from the giant streak of lightning that was not moving. As they looked closer, they realized it was not lightning, but a gateway. Alkaline stepped into the gate, and as soon as he was completely in the gate, he vanished, and the gate closed. At the same time, DeMarcus vanished. The 3 of them could not believe what they had just seen. Still stunned, they did not move, but after a few minutes, they realized they were still in the woods for no reason, so they continued on their way to Ryan's house. They did not talk while they were in the woods. 2 minutes later, they were leaving the woods. They headed down the hill towards the sidewalk that was in front of the Greater Plains Elementary. As they headed down, Violet turned and looked at Zack. "You can pick me up at 7 on Friday," said Violet. "What are you talking about?" asked Zack, confused. "We're going on a date, since you were wrong about the hooded man being Alkaline," said Violet. Zack stopped and realized about the bet they had made, and now had to do what his 2 best friends wanted. And Violet had already decided what she wanted.
Alkaline. Alkaline. That's how you say his name.
Alclien. Alkaline.
I can't help it past him didn't know how to spell, but he's pronounced Alkaline. Okay, get it right, please. Alkaline Drake. Wow. Wow, Adam. Sounds like a drug.
I know.
Are you having a hard time sleeping? Take some Alkaline Drake.
Do you have any of these symptoms? Very quick replay of 19 of 37 symptoms. Immediate. Then you should try some Alkaline Drake.
That's when you read the chapter title.
Alkaline.
You just like Alkaline Drake. I'm like, oh god, that sounds like a drug. Adam's trying to sell drugs in this chapter. Great, Adam.
And there's teenagers in the chapter. I am going to hell.
Yeah. Yes, you are. If it existed.
This is a... I was honestly, as the chapter kept going,
Yep.
I was like, okay, you've named this Alkaline Drake, but when's he going to show up?
You were starting to think it was going to be another Penny Perkins chapter.
Yes, where Penny has one word. One.
Yep.
No. That's it. That's the entirety of her character. Other than that, it's Eddie's girlfriend.
No, I think she actually did have one more line in there, because I was playing through it again when I was editing it. I think she has like one more line.
Oh, whatever.
But still, for a chapter named after her, but she is kind of the topic of the chapter.
I guess so.
But for her actually appearing, it would make more sense if she appeared in the first few chapters.
Right.
Like the first prologue chapter, or the first part of this chapter.
Yes.
Whatever we decided it was. But yeah. But then we actually got him to appear for like 5 seconds.
I know. I know.
Oh, I have some things to say about that, but outside of your saying his name wrong, but overall, just big thoughts on the chapter right off the bat.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it because there's a lot of developments happening through the chapter. You know, we've got the wrap up of the fight at the school dance.
Yep.
We've got, people going home and a lot of exposition between the boys.
Yep.
Then we've got, the hanging out, a little bit more exposition between everybody, between the three kids. And then we finally get to meet the coolest character in this. This is what Zack wishes he could be. Alkaline Drake actually has 3 swords on him at all times.
So you want to know who the inspiration for?
They're all katanas.
You want to know who the inspiration was for who he looks supposed to be?
Oh, who?
Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I have Keanu Reeves,
Oh, I know.
circa Point Break.
Yeah, well, that's how you pronounced him, but like with the description.
Oh, no, that...
when you
that-
started reading, like, wait, I think I was actually
Dark hair.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I can understand what you were going for. I instead went for
Yes.
much better.
But yeah,
He's badass.
So, but you thought it was an overall good chapter.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But-
Yeah, I did also read your description of the character that you gave to me.
Yeah.
And hard-ass member of the Rebels group. Okay, we're going to leave it there because there's spoilers after that. But the moment that I read that, I was like, he's a badass. He was a little bit of Clint Eastwood, but Jim Carrey being Clint Eastwood. Keanu Reeves as an FBI agent who also surfs.
So one of the things that I thought I didn't realize until we started reading through this, part of it I think was enhanced by your performance of the
good,
reading
good.
and everything. But I do think you can't put that kind of performance in there if it's not on the page somewhat. But the realization of how dynamic the character's friendship between the three
Yes.
is, lacking Violet having a character at all, but versus
Yeah.
generic friend who's girl
Yeah.
and love interest. Because as I mentioned already, or I mentioned in the prologue, I can't remember, episode, was that she took the place of Penny. Originally, Penny was supposed to be in this role
Okay.
and do all this stuff. Then I decided, Violet, let me bring someone else in, and Penny, we build towards that relationship with Penny in later books. Or potential relationship with Penny in the later books. 'Cause I actually don't think I ever got them together because I didn't. Because in the next draft, I introduced who's actually in this book, in this draft, but more defined in later writing of this book. That I'll bring up when we get there. Becomes the next. So I don't think he ever actually gets with Penny. But it was always the intention him to get with Penny.
Okay.
But so it kind of threw things off. So I didn't have all the stuff I was going to have Penny do got put on her until book 2 suddenly. We won't talk about that until we cover that.
You know.
But it just became one of those things where I think I eventually did find her character. It just was definitely not here. But the character, the friendship dynamics between them.
Oh, yeah.
I actually got there a lot better than I thought I did.
It shows in this that Ryan kind of is the moral, not the moral compass, but the center rock. Zach is always either trying way too hard to be noticed or not, or trying too hard to not be noticed, which causes you to be noticed. And as of right now, Violet's the friend who probably was friends with Ryan first, then became friends with Zach, and also has a crush on Zach.
Wrong.
They were friends first.
Yes, but also that I couldn't tell you if the original concept of that was the case because in later drafts, Ryan's a year ahead of them.
Oh, okay.
Ryan's in 8th grade. He's in 7th grade in the next few drafts because the guy got held back. And everything. Because remember, I mentioned this in the prologue, Zach is based off of me, and I got held back in 4th grade, so I decided to do the same thing with him.
All right.
But I can't remember for this draft what was the case. But yeah, that was a big thing there. I was going to say this until we got there, but I'm going to bring it up now anyway.
Yeah.
And by what I mean by the dynamic, it's really the Ryan and Violet totally know how to trigger Zach.
Oh, absolutely.
If they want to get him to explode on something, they know how to exactly do just push the right kind of buttons in the right order, and he will do whatever they will react exactly how he wants because they know him so well.
Well, I mean, that's what friends are for.
Oh yeah.
You know how to poke each other's buttons.
Like, and they play him so well with the whole about getting a date.
Yep.
When we get there, I have theories on this that when we'll talk about that, but we got some of the best Zach logic in this chapter.
All right.
But let's go break it down from
the beginning.
So yeah, we wrap up. I do love how like why you guys come from here, came out of the building.
Yeah.
And them trying to explain it.
So we didn't see any smoke.
And just like, I mean, yes, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's just like you're kind of giving a lot away.
I also feel that the police chief at this point is going, I honestly do not understand what is going on here, but none of this is adding up.
Nope.
And
not.
The only thing I can think of is that these kids are in some kind of danger, but they also keep getting themselves out of that danger.
Yep.
So, you kids, I'm going to be, I'm going to do what I have to, but I'm not arresting you.
But when, so as they're explaining things popped in my mind. After making sure I wrote down that you spelled the name wrong, you keep pronouncing the name wrong of Alkaline.
Alkaline.
But it's, my first question was, how does a guy from another world know how to pull a fire alarm?
Yeah, he just looked at it and went, this looks like it does something, and just pulled it.
And then I also have, then like, how would they know he would go back through there, back through the building? That sounds like me just trying to answer a question to cover up that it was clearly, he knew they would come through, but trying to make it sound like nope, it was just a coincidence when that was just a plot point to find him. So games you could find him. So much that in the last version of the story, before I gave up for a decade, I started putting things in to build the world, rebuild some of the Earth-based world around it to explain that he could do this. When we go over that one, we will go over that one.
Okay.
It's basically the same story as this, but there's some major changes. There's some changes in it, but we'll see which one was better when we get there at some point in the future. But yeah, those were some questions I had.
Okay.
But
I just love the principal is just like, wait, why didn't you tell me that your house got broken into? And he's like, because Zach is in this moment great Zach logic, because he's like, why would I think that my house like they ransacked the dining room and then left again? So why would I think that was connected to me being attacked days later?
I think it would have been better. One is he was like, well, it's because some drunk my mom brought home.
Yeah.
One of her drunk friends came over and did that. And she didn't remember he was here or something because she was drunk or something like that. Yeah. Never in the scene is it ever pitched as she was.
Yeah.
But like, what I wanted Zach's life to be like in this book, it doesn't turn out to be that way.
No.
But I eventually got there in the later drafts.
Okay, good.
And the later versions, but like I got like it was like I wanted Zach is so remember of his past, but it's supposed to be better times. But I wanted it to still be at the past. Yeah. But I do like how the chief says, "I'm gonna have an Oneana PD car stationed outside your house and 2 more in your neighborhood."
Yeah.
And the reason I find that funny is because Oneana PD outside Zach's house, which is technically the town of Oneana's jurisdiction, which would put it in the state troopers. Because the town of Oneana doesn't have their own.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's probably
in this story, they have their own PD.
They're probably, if I looked into it, there's probably workover that that because it just blends right into where the town goes.
Yeah.
Line is in that area, they're allowed to operate. But they're not going all the way to the far reaches. That's going to be the state troopers. But in the immediate vicinity, which is technically where our mall is over there, they can still go over there. But technically, if they're going to call the cops, they're going to call the state troopers.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just found that I'm thinking about, wait, that's the town. That's not the city. They're putting them. That is state trooper technically should be there. I think I actually fixed that in later. I'm not sure.
I mean, you could just let the disbelief happen.
I don't. They just never mentioned the difference between the city and town.
It's okay.
So
you could just
in the book,
But
technically, this is just me being someone who lived there and everything. Being like, technically, that is the town. And I should have put. There should be a line like, "But I live in the town." Shut up, Zach. Like, and then Ryan and Violet should just be like, "Shut up, Zach. He's trying to protect you. Shut it."
Okay.
Fine, whatever. Gotta be cool.
Yeah.
And not actually be cool.
While being so not cool.
It's not Skylar Grant.
No. See, Skylar just naturally had that
See,
in everything he did.
Adam, I've realized something since we recorded on the Skylar Grant podcast.
Yeah.
He had a fourth power.
He did.
Yeah.
He was Riz.
No, he was cool. His superpower was he was so cool. He could think of the coolest way to do something, and it would work out.
He had a cool stat. It's like Cyberpunk.
No, he had his no. It's not cool. It's just luck that turns into cool. What do you think about it? He is the luckiest person in that thing, and Jenna has the worst luck.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah. So, when we finally get to Ryan's house, this is where I think the chapter drags. We spend too much on backstory.
Yeah.
The whole conversation about who the hooded person could be, could have been saved for the stone wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah, especially with the three of them just hanging out.
Yeah, but I do want to point out there, this is where we get the greatest of Zach logic so far.
Oh my God, the Zach logic is so awesome.
This is the Zach logic. Oh, by the way, before I get to the Zach logic, I do have to point out, I learned something here from this. So books can be educational, Adam. You flick a switch that turns the lights on. Wow. Mind blown, Adam.
Yeah.
Never knew that. The way it's written, I'm like, I get what I was trying to do, what I'm doing, but it just the way you read it, and I'm pretty sure if I went back and read it, I'm like, so I put a tutorial on how light switches work?
Yes, you did. You did. Because so I don't know if it's going to be fully edited out or not, but when I first read it, I immediately just went to, what would I say if I did this? Which was, he reached over and flicked on the light.
Yeah.
And then I went, there are so many more words. I have to go back and I have to actually read this word for word.
Oh, no, I'm gonna keep that one in. There's certain ones that you mess up. You do it how you would do it,
yeah.
And then you rewrite that. Sometimes I take those ones out because I prefer this one because I would have wanted you to fix it and you decide not to. So like I keep that one. The other ones I leave mistakes. It's really in the moment when I'm editing.
Oh
like,
yeah.
No, let's go with the messed up one. He gave me another line. Let me do that one. Or oh no, let's do this one. It's just funnier. But yeah, just some like, wow, what was I thinking? Okay, now we get the Zach line about we've known from the last chapter. I believe it was the last chapter where we're like, how will we know if this is his friend Atlas Drake and his Zach, who literally said the guy Zach said wouldn't attack him, who doesn't attack him could turn out to be, and then doesn't attack him could be Alcon Drake. But nope, he immediately said the exact same thing happens. He immediately goes, no, it's Jamarcus. He was healed in my dream, so he probably popped out to help me and realized, oh look, I'm healthy, and disappeared and ran off.
I love
Zach logic.
I love the fact that he said that, and I love the fact that you, as the writer, when Ryan would not accept that as anything, and Ryan responds just without telling you or removing the mark?
See,
Like, are you really, Zach? Zach's like, I just want this to end, okay?
so, to me, Ryan is that he'll push back against Zach every so often, but in this situation, he would be more like, yeah, sure, but he doesn't. He's just like,
yeah, no, that
is like, but because the way Zach said it, and it's just like you literally said this, and now you're going, and it happens, and you decide, nope, it can't be him. It's gotta be DeMarcus.
it's the most opposite thing
He's just
possible.
like, I would agree with you on this one, but you made it so hard. Like,
What?
nope,
No,
can't.
I am not agreeing with
Nope,
you
I can't do
at
it.
all.
I can't be the good best friend and disagree with you on this one. Dude, so have you noticed with the Zach logic, we're getting a trend upward. I'm wondering when we're gonna hit that peak. If it's gonna wait until the very end where we hit the peak, or we're gonna hit the peak and come down on Zach logic,
I don't know.
or we'll go down a little bit and then hit another peak.
We could.
So I'm more excited to see which Zach logic, the best Zach logic there is throughout this, because there's so far it just keeps getting better.
I do have to say, I enjoy the when we finally get the reveal.
Yep.
You know, the kids running through the woods, they're running up the hill.
Are you talking about what happens afterwards with Violet? Oh no, you're talking about the actual reveal.
The reveal.
Okay.
Boom, they stumble over each other. He pulls the hood back. He tells them his name. That the moment that he says his name, there should have been a little moment of Violet
Yep.
off to the side, whispering and pumping her fist, going, "Yes."
Yeah, I should have. Absolutely. But I think because of what happens later.
Or Ryan just dead eyeing Zach for a second. Just
Well, they're both they're all three of them are on the ground.
yeah. Oh no.
Still,
but still,
yeah.
from that, like she leans over, like, yes.
All of a sudden,
Ryan just dead eyes Zach, and Zach's like, "Look, why?"
No. Zach doesn't want to turn. Zach doesn't want to turn around.
No.
Because he knows Ryan is staring a hole through his head, the back of his head.
I told you.
But that's the thing he's worried about. Not Violet saying yes over here because he could. But we'll get to that. I think the way it's written now works better with what happens at the end of the chapter. But that is one of those things that would be funny to add in.
Jeez.
But yeah, so we get the best Zach moment, but saving all the discussion for that moment.
Yeah.
And we could have switched it out, the whole dating thing. Tease from Ryan, not Violet, because I think it would have been funnier at when he's at Ryan's
being
house.
like, "No, man, from my point of view,
you didn't dance.
You didn't dance
because he wasn't there when he said that, and he could have been like, and he's not a full explosion, but he's like." He's not happy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you weren't there because you were too busy dancing. That I asked her, she said no, and I warned. And then you could still kind of done like, so when are we dating? No, and like Ryan's just like, and he'd be like, you knew what I was gonna, you knew.
Even better. just the end of the chapter. I had another idea, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but that could have sort of gotten shortened the chapter a little bit because we just dragged.
We could have had that type of conversation between Ryan and Zach.
Yep.
At Ryan's house instead.
Yeah, and then
out in the woods.
And then do the who do you think the hooded man was?
Yeah.
And you could have still brought that up at Ryan's, but he's just like, what? I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. No, just even better is just not right now.
Yeah. But then the fact that and after that with the Zach logic, I had to put a little note here. Because as you said, Ryan couldn't let that one go. I said the guy who was going crazy as Dan Hat is the logical one in this scene.
Of course he is.
Yeah. And then the fact that Ryan just drops truth bomb after truth bomb on Zach about Penny and everything. Bam.
How much Violet and how much Violet likes him, how much he likes Violet.
A month ago, dude, you were telling me how you wanted to ask her to be your girlfriend. and then Penny shows up, and then now you want her, and then she ditches us, and she did ditch us. There's more of a like what you said it is like Zach was about to cut in, and he's like, no, you can't deny she ditched us. She ditched us. She may not have intended that, but she ditched us.
Exactly.
But just boom, truth bomb, boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
See, that I still would have kept that part of
that
everything.
part.
That's still a conversation that the boys have.
Yeah.
But
Boom. And
the
really
entirety of
the whole who the hooded man is and all that. But like that, and you could have expanded that a little bit more.
that belongs with all three of them.
And by the way, past him who wrote this one, he really needs to understand the difference between present tense and past tense.
Absolutely.
Because those are it's throughout this book so far, but there's one that specifically it's when they sat down, but he said they sit on the bench.
Once they reach the wall, they sit on the picnic table and just hang out. After a while, Ryan brings up the hooded man.
Yep. Like that, like when the way, because it's just, and I think it works because
that is a third-party narration just going, that happened over there.
You just switched over to it on the page. It's like the first line on the page.
Yes.
So that kind of me seeing, but also just it's there. Like yeah, that's supposed to be sat, past tense,
and just hanged out or hung out.
Yep.
So while Ryan brought up the hooded man again. Riley, who do you think the hooded man is?
This actually works out with my next point I wrote down here because they're talking about and we're building up this. Zach is so wrong about the hooded man to the point he clearly knows he's wrong.
Yeah.
This is hopeful. Let it be over. I want it to be over. And okay, Adam, it's time. Theory time.
Theory time.
I have a book theory for you.
Okay.
It's a play out the film theory thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I guess
Zach totally still likes Violet.
Oh, absolutely.
So bad. That's why he makes the bet.
He tanks the bet on purpose.
Like he realizes that he fucked up.
I mean, at the same time, in his desperation, he is hoping that it's DeMarcus so that this mark can be off his neck and he never has to deal with this situation
he cares about
again.
the mark. It's just that DeMarcus is gone and it's just over.
Yeah, it's over.
But he realizes this is why the theory is I had in mind is he is so desperate that he really not desperate. He messed up with Violet. Yes, he likes Penny and he still likes Penny, but he realizes those truths. He's known that for a while. But he's desperate to cling to the potential that Penny is the same person he knew, and she'll like him. But he still really does like Violet. But he can't man up and admit he made a mistake when Violet will clearly forgive him.
Yeah.
So he had to maybe try to steer things in that right direction. He makes the bet he absolutely knows it's...
Come on. The dance bet, he was going to purposely avoid her, and then oh man, I wasn't able to that night
because I said you.
Yeah, so I'll go on that date.
Oh no, that one I think it was more of I think the truth bombs also kind of help him. Like he knew, seeing that, and it's kind of like yeah, but he's already been feeling that. But it was the truth bombs that kind of helped point him, and now this new bet, he can. He does really hope it is DeMarcus.
Oh yeah,
but he knows
it's one of those that it's like you're saying that there's a 1% chance it's DeMarcus.
Yep,
those sound like good odds to me, and you're like that's not good odds, bud.
Yeah, but like he makes that bet knowing at some point they're gonna find out.
Oh yeah,
but he brings up like how we know. And everything, because he's got to try to be cool for his friends.
He's so cool.
But he makes that.
I understand why Ryan hangs out with him. It's truly pity. He's like, this Zach kid, if I didn't hang out with him, no one would hang out with him. But he would still be the coolest kid in school, according to him.
Ryan would end up probably being the coolest
The
kid
actual
in the school.
coolest kid in school.
Because he's just so dorky and doesn't care.
It's the lack of shame.
Yep. He's like, I don't care.
He's like, I'll do it.
You remember, and if people trying to make fun of him, he's like, shut up. Well, yeah, I totally did that.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I danced with your girlfriend.
But yeah. And then I just gotta point this out because it keeps happening every time we meet a new person not from Earth. All these otherworldly people commenting Zach on his fighting skills. It's almost like Tim's trying to foreshadow. And he's doing it wrong. Everyone knows you shine a giant spotlight on it because they're like, people are going to ignore it.
Immediate, amazing sword abilities and have never practiced any of it.
Because people are going to ignore that giant spotlight because like that's too obviously. It's got to be something else. It's a trap. Admiral Akbar is out there. Drop.
No, see, that's the thing. Like you did, it's still kind of, in my opinion, is one of those that it's like, especially in this moment, where Alkaline finally reveals himself to Zach, and then comments on it. It was like, hey, you're pretty good for somebody who's never done it before because you didn't die and you didn't stab yourself. I know that's a low bar, but it's a bar, okay? You got over the first bar. Good job.
This was me clearly. This is me. I'm still trying to learn how to foreshadow.
Oh yeah.
Here, and it is a little bit subtler than the giant spotlight of blue hair, eyes glowing.
Yeah, that's a lot better than
Sage. But at the same time,
Alkaline has a good thing. It's like, hey, you held your own for a moment against this guy with, but. With some training, you might get you could be a pretty good warrior.
Yeah. So it's just like, yep. Like, but I had to do a flashback to season 1 and my so subtle of foreshadowing I did it.
Yeah,
such a great job there.
Yeah, you gave it away immediately.
Oh, and then Captain Kirk for Alkaline. Really?
No, it's not Captain Kirk.
It is Captain Kirk.
No, sir, that is Keanu Reeves by way of Point Break.
It sounds like... It's been a while since I watched that movie, but...
He was really tough.
Kind of get it, but like...
at the same time...
There was ways you said things...
Oh, I know.
That was absolutely how Captain Kirk...
sometimes you have to put the Shatner, comma, after... every single word out there.
And then
it's on the wing of the plane.
Though there is some logic gap here that we have to talk about the magic coin thingy. Because he says this will let me get right back to you wherever you are.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's gonna take him 2 days to get back to the council.
Well,
why? But if you had a magic coin,
because of where he put the other coin to teleport back to that place.
But you're gonna want to go right back to the council anyway. So why don't you just teleport for the council?
You're not allowed to do that. It's against council rules.
Sure.
The HOA council does not allow teleportation into the council chambers.
This was one of my favorite things I created when I first started this. Was this idea of, because I have portals. You can do portals with the marks that you see there.
Yeah.
But the laws I set up for this, and we'll get this in a few chapters. So it's not a spoiler or anything, but like where you you make the portal, you line up with where that portal is on the other world. So technically, if there's land where the Pacific Ocean is, you open a portal there without the coin, you're gonna drop right into
the ocean. All right.
And depending on where you are at sea level, you may show up in the ocean,
or many feet above the ocean.
Yes, and then So this was a cool thing I came up with to allow for to go to specific thing, and I came up with even a better an advancement of this in later books version of the books that I was happy with, because I needed there was gonna be a lot of movement and I needed people to get there fast. I'm like, but I don't have it set up.
Yeah.
Instead of setting it up ahead of saying no, it's been around the entire time, I have Zach set this thing up so they can teleport around the. But yeah, but then but yeah, going back to the whole ending of the chapter and Violet's two things. So you can pick me up at 7 on Friday.
Yep.
And Zach's just like, wait, what?
You know that Ryan's thing is a date as well for Violet.
Oh, like that. See, that would have been funny if because I don't know if we actually get the date.
I know.
I can't remember.
Ryan's like, so mine is a second date.
Yeah, he's like,
have fun.
I was like, so Violet, so like, like, dude, I told you I don't want to date Violet. Ooh, that's gonna make Saturday tonight can be really awkward. Like, why? Because my thing you have to do is you're going on another date with her.
Yeah.
Because I knew you were gonna pull this shit, and I'm not letting you.
No.
And I know you had a great time.
The other fun part would be the date does not happen because of their adventures in the other world, and when they come back, Ryan still hasn't used up his win of the bet yet, and he just looks over because he's like, all right, we're
that
back.
That doesn't work at him.
And he goes, you still have to go on a date with her.
That doesn't work at him.
Why not?
Spoilers.
Nope. Damn it.
But I actually noticed that this we're building these last two chapters as a little bit of a mini arc for them. If we actually get the date,
yeah, I know.
It is we get Violet very clearly to Zach saying, "I get you started liking your old friend that you had a crush on back then again," and hopeful, but hey, I'm still interested.
I'm here.
I'm here and everything, but I'm still interested. I'm giving you the opportunity.
Zach, you feel like you're a million miles away. He's like, damn it, Violet.
No, you're not.
I'm right here. She's like, stop writing that play. And he's like, I can't stop. I have a workshop.
You're confusing that clip from Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wrong one.
Is there singing?
He's writing a Broadway musical.
Is there singing going on of Zach and another friend in the future talking about this going on and getting really cool facial visuals?
It's a really cool back and forth within the dynamic of the storyline.
So at the dance we get Violet a deal.
Okay.
If they don't dance, he doesn't dance with her.
Yeah.
She has to go. Basically saying, I know you feel bad. I know you still like me. I'm giving you the chance to walk it back and make it up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Zach is clearly trying to bridge something here. So we're going to okay, you have to do this. And then her thing. We get the dance. If we get the date, we get the date. I just can't remember if we get the date in this book or not.
I don't know.
But it's, just like, so, okay, so you were wrong. And he's like, what? Oh, fuck. And he's, in his head, he's like, yes!
Dude, Alkaline trying to take the mark off. And then I had a quick moment where I realized...
Oh, we're head hopping in that scene.
Oh, no, I don't even care about the head hopping.
I know, but I forgot to put that down. But there's some head hopping.
For me, it was... I had, the Star Wars hologram where it comes from a cone of light coming out of the back of Zach's neck. And as Zach was trying to turn to talk to DeMarcus, it just kept moving DeMarcus around.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, hold on. Stand still, kid.
All right, let's move into the quick portion of fixing this chapter. What would you do to improve this chapter?
Both tighten it up a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. We're agreeing on that one.
Well, at the same time, punching it up a little bit more.
There's I think we need to fix the Zach logic. And by fix the Zack logic, I mean not make it more logical.
No.
You know what I mean?
Go-
punch that thing up.
Go full illogical here.
We're talking MCU level of punch up here.
How does he not understand how terrible he is right now? And he's
Yeah.
like, what? I'm desperate. I want this off from me.
And we gotta punch up Ryan's response to the logic.
Yes.
Not just words and what he says, but reaction to it.
He pinches the bridge of his nose, sighs, and goes, no.
No, dude, I so want to do that best friend thing.
Yeah, but
where I agree with you, but
that doesn't make
no,
any sense.
I can't do it. Nope. I'm trying. Nope. I can't do it. No. No.
But it could be all over. It's not. It's not all over.
It's not Zach. It's not. And then I don't know if the whole yes from Violet when we reveal works with how the ending is, but
her acknowledging that yes, this is Alkaline and she won the bet is a good thing.
I know, but I don't know if it would work with how it's written. So reworking it in so that will work, and then him, we just kind of like yes, and Zach just overriding it because we've done this.
He's
not even
concentrating.
thinking that, or he's trying to avoid Ryan's glare because he's burning a hole because he's right, forgetting that she has one too.
Yeah,
and he knows exactly what it's gonna be, and that's the thing. When they make the bet, Violet specifically points out we're going on a date.
Oh yeah.
There, adding it there. That way, she's like, so when he says you can pick me up at 7 on Friday.
For what?
It's all like we already know.
Yeah.
It works as it is, but putting that in there and her saying, so when are you gonna pick me up? I'm thinking 7, kind of line would help punch it up, and then but I think what would really work from here is okay. We know where we're going. We need to get a little bit more of Alkaline in here.
They're gonna go watch High School Musical.
Yes, I am.
2.
It's the one I didn't watch the other night. but like break it down. Like okay, we just need to expand the Alkaline scene a little bit more.
Yeah,
and we need to hone everything up. The follow through in this chapter from what happens in chapter 6 is for my second novel. Very through line.
Oh,
It's
good.
Thought about that. That's what I thought. I thought the follow up. It's just there's a lot of dull moments we just kind of linger too much on. Wrap those things up quickly and move on. And
I do have to say, very, very good job of branching over from the previous chapter.
Yeah. This feels like I've learned from the last book where there's just breaks.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention writing the series multiple times and other stuff I've also written is I may have an outline and I try to follow that outline to the letter.
Yeah.
But when I'm writing the actual fleshed out stuff, what I write comes off more of a no, that's where I need to end. This chapter ends or this scene ends.
Yep.
I end it there. I'm still in the element of most of my chapters are scenes. Is a scene. We get chapters like this where there are multiple scenes.
Right.
But there's a lot of scenes. It's to me as I break it's when you break it down, it's multiple scenes. But there's a lot of things that seem like it's one giant scene just stretching in and it's following through. But if you really break it down, no, it's multiple scenes.
Right.
But I always felt it was like early on it was hard to break scenes apart when they seem to stretch in, and I mimicked that. But there are 2 scenes. It's just the way I wrote. That's something that I'll definitely know will need to be fixed. I still can't wait until we get to the bathing scene.
Sorry, the what?
There's actually multiple of those, but no, it's inspired by an anime.
Okay,
it's inspired by
yeah, okay.
Because they needed to get bathed,
right?
And I inspired it by Spirited Aways.
So there's a lot of steam in the room.
They're in separate bathtubs, and Violet's not there.
Oh, okay.
So
the steam room.
But when we get to that chapter, it'll be known when we get to that chapter, and I'll explain more why that is. I think Spirited Away is the one that I'm thinking of, but All right. Anything else to help clean this up?
No,
Like
not
that?
really. Not
Okay.
really.
I think we're pretty much in agreement. It just needs to tighten it up.
It both needs to tighten up and be stretched out at the exact same time, but it's only the way to stretch it out would be to use
focus more on alkaline. I think.
they're not just that, but like descriptors.
Descriptors, but
really-
also, you know what? It needs to be added in before the reveal of alkaline.
Hold on. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
No, not more Highlander.
Oh my god, I can't believe you're thinking about adding more Highlander to this.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Alkaline sweeps back
I was waiting for
his
you to
trench
say your
coat
note.
to reveal 3 katanas.
You almost forgot about that.
No, I didn't.
you were waiting.
I was waiting.
Oh, sure you did. No, I think it would have been funny to add into it here. Only Zach sees this. Only Zach.
Okay.
But when they're talking about the debate and everything, behind Ryan and Violet, Ackland appears. Not Ackland, DeMarcus appears. And he's like, he doesn't say, you don't hear him, but he lips.
Oh, his mouth is moving the entire time?
He's just like, it's not. Like, he's like, dude, it wasn't me. And
It's never me.
so we are further further stretching that point of Zach's doing this because he's trying to make it up.
Yeah.
But he can't admit he was wrong.
Exactly.
But it's something like that.
He's a cool guy who collects katanas.
Yeah.
And really enjoys Highlander.
He's cool because he collects katana and he doesn't like Highlander. I'm
He
sorry.
loves Highlander.
All right.
He lives his life for it.
Anything else you want to add?
He's going to name his first child Connor.
No, he won't. And by the way, I believe his first child is a daughter.
Yeah, it's still named
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah. When
Connor McLeod.
I made him.
Duncan. Her name shall be Connor Duncan McLeod.
Yeah, he has a daughter. I went there.
Zach. What is Zach's last name again?
Parks.
Parks. So she's going to be Connor Duncan McLeod Parks.
No, it's not. You could go with Connie though.
Exactly.
No.
That's her nickname. Is Connie.
But so nothing else you want to add besides more Highlander?
More Highlander.
Even more than what you wanted to
I
add?
want so much more.
Jeez. All right, we'll wrap this episode up here. What did you think of this chapter? Do you agree with us on our talking points? How to fix this chapter? Do you agree that it's a good follow through from the last chapter? Let us know down in the comment section. Since you made it here, we're believing you enjoyed this episode. So why not go and smash that like button and do it as a prayer to the holy algorithm.
The holy algorithm.
And subscribe because I got writing content on the channel. It's on screen now. Maybe you want some terrible gameplay? Go check out Adam's channel, ZOP Gaming.
ZOP Gaming.
And pick something that's on the screen. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.